legit.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Venetia Alexander Marshall and welcome. If you're new here, hi, how are you? Don't forget, hit the subscribe button at the bottom and make sure you click the notification bell so every time I'm uploading a new video, you are notified. Oh, I got tongue tied for a second. Okay, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I know. I always say this about my 7 days of makeup looks that I'm supposed to be done by Christmas, and I'll never get done by Christmas. But here's the thing though. I had already started my 7 days of makeup looks on my second channel as well as my TikTok. So if you are not following me on my beauty TikTok page, which I will link in the bottom of the description box, or if you have not subscribed to my second channel, I will link it in the cards above so you can keep up with all of the makeup that I have done so far. So let's do a little bit of a recap. So on the first day, we did Huda Beauty. The second day, we did MAC, everything MAC. So now we're on day three. Day three. So who is day three? Day three is everything Makeup by Mario. I have not ever done anything Makeup by Mario as far as my 7 days of makeup looks. But this is the first time I'm going to be bringing for you everything Makeup by Mario as far as what I have Makeup by Mario. Because I actually thought I had a Makeup by Mario blush and I don't have it. And if I do have it, I can't find it. I'm just saying. So yeah, we're going to do everything Makeup by Mario. So come on. Let's go ahead and let's get started with day three featuring Makeup by Mario. All right, let's start with foundation. I don't think Makeup by Mario has a primer, I don't believe. So I've gone on ahead and primed my face. Let's start with the foundation. A lot of y'all had a lot to say about that other foundation. His Surreal, that first foundation he came up with. So, of course, I picked up this foundation. This is the new foundation by Makeup by Mario. The shade I am in, I think I went, yeah, this is 23. I can't see that. You know, I got my glasses on. That's what I have. I went down a shade. Because I think in the first foundation, it's like a hair too dark. I bet you if I mix that with this, it would be an absolute perfect match. But I actually think this is a pretty good doggone match with this foundation. Because I think the other foundation, I think I'm in 24 in. So I came down a shade. And this is a great match. Now, I am hearing, and what I have been seeing so far, a lot of y'all like this foundation, this updated foundation from Makeup by Mario, to where some of y'all have put it in your list of favorites for 2025. I'm very impressed with it. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with this foundation. Now, like I said, I didn't have a problem with the other foundations other than the fact that it was like a hair too dark. A lot of people were saying that foundation left y'all oily and it creased. Now, I did not have a problem with the creasing. I do get creasing when I wear this one. But a lot of y'all said that at the end of the day, after you set and put your powders on and everything, it was still leaving you oily. It was still leaving you really oily. You did not like how the finish was at the end of the day. I saw that, but not to a point to where I looked greasy. It just gave me glow, and with me having dry skin, it did not bother me. It was just like the shading was like a little off, but not to the point where I couldn't wear it, because I have worn that foundation on special occasions. I have worn that foundation, but this one, I do like this one a little bit better than the other one. So I kind of see why y'all didn't like it. You know, I understand, but the creasing that y'all said y'all got on the other one, I'm getting with this one. So. But it's not anything that I can't do to combat it. I mean, hello, I am 50 now. So I am going to get lines and get those fine lines and everything. There's nothing I can do about that. But this foundation, overall, I do like it. And like I said, I have to say, I like this foundation a little bit more than the other one, but it's not like I wouldn't wear the other one. See, this is what it looks like. Really like it. Next is concealer, and of course I have the Makeup by Mario concealer, and I did get this concealer. This concealer came out, I believe, after his foundation came out. Then this concealer came out, but I have heard from what I've heard so far and what I've seen with other YouTubers and TikTokers, y'all like the concealer better than the foundation. Now, there was some that said they like the foundation better than concealer. And even right now with the new foundation, y'all like the new foundation better than this concealer. And some have said they would like for this to be updated. I like this concealer. I do. I do like the concealer. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with the other foundation as well. I didn't have a problem with neither one of them. Like I said, it was just like, it was shading. I just gone a little bit too dark. But this concealer, I did not have a problem with this concealer at all. This is a concealer that can get medium to full coverage, but I liked it. Didn't have a problem with the concealer. But like I said, the majority of people that I did see, they didn't really have a problem with the concealer the way they had with that first foundation. So I'm just going to take my sponge. This is the Pawpaw sponge. I got this from Shop Miss A when my husband and I had gone to Chicago this last June when we went to the mall. And I had no idea they had a Shop Miss A up in that mall. Child, I had got lost. Okay, like lured, like wall to wall. And I had picked up these Pawpaw sponges. Because the majority of that stuff in there was like $1 and some change. Super, super, super affordable. So I picked up the pack of Pawpaw sponges. And I did pick up some more makeup brushes. All right, next is setting powder. Okay, look. Look. I've already set the first layer because for those of you that are new to my channel, I set my face twice. I've already set with a banana powder, but this second powder, we're going to stick with Makeup by Mario. This is the setting powder. The shade I have is Neutral Medium Deep. I have tried to like this powder. I have tried to like this powder. A lot of you love this setting powder by Makeup by Mario. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I have tried. I have tried. I have tried. This is what I have decided to do. Yes, it's in my part of my everyday makeup stash. Do I plan on getting another one? The answer is a no. The answer is a no. It is a no. It does not leave me the way I'm used to seeing my setting powders leave me. And then this is supposed to be a neutral, medium deep. This is what the neutral look like. And it look kind of orangey on me. It ain't really looking like from Fenty Beauty, the shade, the original setting powder, Nutmeg. That one is more neutral. I got a lot to say about that. Anyway, that first powder in Nutmeg was more neutral. This is supposed to be neutral. This is not really neutral. This is more, it's warmer than a neutral. I put it in my four corners. I've even pressed this powder in, like not use like the way I do it now. I pressed this into my skin, like pressed it all over my skin, all over my face to set the remaining of my face. And I think I made it worse. Cause chill. Ain't nobody trying to look orange, if you know what I mean. Chill. No, couldn't. And see, like with this, when I took it in sunlight, yeah, I didn't like it. I really, I didn't like the setting powder. Now, like I said, I'm going to finish it out. I'm just not getting another setting powder. A lot of y'all like this setting powder from Makeup by Mario. I have tried like this setting powder from Makeup by Mario. I just can't. I just can't. I'm also keeping it because it costs too much money to be, you know what I'm saying? It costs too much money. But a lot of y'all like this setting powder from Makeup by Mario. I'm just not a fan of it. Next is bronzer. Now, I am a fan of the bronzer. This is his powder bronzer by Makeup by Mario. Yes, the stuff that's on the front is makeup and then it's been sitting in my little basket where I keep all my bronze. That's what this is, because my basket is like this color. So don't be judging. This is the shade Dark. Now, I usually use bronzer for all over. I try to use this bronzer to combat this oranginess. And what I do like about this powder bronzer, this is very pigmented. You have to be careful with it. And I'm not going to just chisel out because to me it's like contour. I just put it all over, and this is how I was able to correct it. Now, again, with his bronzer, you have to be very careful with his bronzer, because his bronzer, it is pigmented. Very, very, very pigmented. Give me a little shadow up there. Just put it all over. I like his bronzer. This bronzer is good. I don't have the stick bronzer. I like this powder one better. Yeah. Now that right there, I just did too much. Okay, we're going to move on to eyeshadow. I thought I had a Makeup by Mario blush. I don't have it. Or if I do have it, it's lost. I thought I had a blush from Makeup by Mario. So apparently I don't, or it's lost. But I am going to go over to the eyeshadow palette. Y'all. This eyeshadow palette has me in a choke hold. This $50 eyeshadow palette has me in a chokehold. This is his Master Matte eyeshadow palette. This is the all neutral palette. If you you can tell where I've been digging at. You can clearly tell where I have been digging at. This eyeshadow palette, this is the eyeshadow palette I wore to my son's graduation. I wore this to my son's graduation. What eyeshadow palette did I wear for his banquet? I think it was the Patrick Tar, his Major Dimension 3. Something about all matte. I initially was never a fan of the all matte eye, but since this Master Matte and the Patrick Tar Major Dimension 3, I love an all matte eyeshadow. I've even worn this for church when it was my turn to sing in church. This was the eyeshadow palette I wore. And I usually don't do eyeshadow for church, but I was feeling froggy and I decided to do this eyeshadow palette. But I tell you, it is worth the coin. Yes, it's like I said, it is $50, but it is worth the $50. I am going to start with this shade right here in my crease. Not to mention, this palette is very pigmented. Very pigmented. And when I tell you, it is worth the money. Worth it. You can build this up as much as you want. Child, look at the pigment. And I like more of that blown out look. Can't get no better than this eyeshadow palette. I'm telling you, you cannot get any. This is a pigmented eyeshadow palette. I think I got powder on my eyes, y'all. All right, for my lid, I'm going to go in with this shade right here on my lid. I've also worn this shade. I've worn this shade. And I usually go between this shade right here and this shade. When I tell you that all matte eye, to me, I like, for some reason, an all matte eye. Like I said, I wanted like a matte in my crease and a shimmer on my eye. Shell. I just take this matte shade and I just pack it on like so. Because what I'm going to do is create like this ombre effect on my eye. And it's just going all over my lid. Just like that. So now that I have both shadows on my eye, I'm just going to go back with my original brush, and I'm just going to go right in between here, and I'm just going to blend together. Does he have a mascara? I don't know if Makeup by Mario has a mascara. I ain't heard nobody talk about a mascara. If he got a mascara, comment below if he got a mascara. But next is setting spray. I do have his setting spray from Makeup by Mario. I like his setting spray. It's not a bad setting spray. I wouldn't call it as one of my favorites, but it is a pretty good setting spray that I have used a few times. Not the setting spray I used for my son's graduation, nor his banquet, sports banquet last year. But this is a pretty good setting spray. It does have the fine mist. It's a very fine mist. And what I like about this setting spray is it's not one of those where once you spray, even though the mister is fine, it's not where it's going to drench you. It is a very fine mist of a setting spray. It's not bad at all, but this will lock your makeup in place. Or if you want to use the setting spray to keep your face moisturized as you're doing your makeup, this is also fine as well. I have also used it to for my sponges, my makeup sponges. I have used it on there. All right, so the last part is lip. Y'all can't tell me nothing about this lip pencil. You can't tell me nothing about this lip pencil. Y'all, this is his dual-ended lip pencil. Yes, this is the brush on this side. I don't use the brush. I really, really don't. But even though I am pushing, like when I do have the, I can put it back in here with the liner, and I do press it together to kind of make it blend more. This pencil, y'all, is very pigmented. This is the, I don't know what shade I picked up. This is the more dark brown shade of his lip pencil. Look at that. Look. Look. I do use this lip pencil. I once I had too long used this lip pencil. And yes. And then I'm just taking my lip, kind of just combining my lip together for the gloss. This is his Plumping lip glaze, I believe. And from what I understand, they don't make this anymore. I'm a little disappointed, but that's fine. I know I have a Makeup by Mario tube lipstick. I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it, but I do have this. The right amount of pigment, and it matches, this matches his lip pencil that I have really, really well. So that is it with day 3 of my 7 days of makeup looks featuring Makeup by Mario. So we still got 4 more days left. So I will say the next 2 days, 4 and 5, drugstore. We're going to go drugstore. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do days 4 and 5, all drugstore / affordable makeup. So you won't be breaking the bank. But I have saved my last 2 days. Days 6 and 7 will be Black-owned makeup brands. So that's what I've done for days 6 and 7. So again, this is it. This is the final look featuring Makeup by Mario. So with that being said, this is Venetia Alexander Marshall. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.